Bonjour tout le monde, j'espère que vous allez bien. I got lots of calls and messages this weekend, and mostly they were about CLB5. How to achieve CLB5 by June. Now, there is a program for those of you who do not know that if you achieve CLB5 and listening and speaking in the TEF Canada or TCF Canada exam, then you would get the work permit extension. But again, the deadline of this program is until June. So, and we do not know, and nobody knows for that matter, if this program is going to get extended. So, if you want to start your journey today in from it as in learning French, definitely you can do that. And I'm going to talk about the step-by-step program, the step-by-step method that you can use to go ahead and achieve this desired score by June. But again, disclaimer, guys. Every person is different. Every person has different circumstances. Some are doing two jobs. Some might be working over the weekend as well. Some may not have time. So this plan would only work who can really give the time, the genuine time. And last but not the least, CLB5 is not just, trust me, guys, French is easy, but when it comes to the exam, then it is a different game altogether, right? Like we learn English since childhood, but when we have to take IELTS, then it's a different game, right? Because we have to do a lot more than is needed. Similarly, you got to understand that CLB5 is not just, it is something which is going to need a lots and lots of hard work, right strategy. Only then you can go ahead and achieve the CLB5 in listening and speaking. So let's get started, guys. And I want to talk about all the step-by-step way and the methodology that you can adapt or adopt to go ahead and get the CLB5. The first thing first that you're going to do is work on your pronunciation. Now, let's say I'm going to give this plan to all the beginners. Now, you're a complete beginner and you've started to taking any classes or you've joined any self-paced course, whatever methodology you've adopted, the first thing you got to work on is the pronunciation. Because if you do not get that right, guys, you're not going to get the CLB 453, whatever in the TEF or TCF Canada exam, because this is about speaking and listening anyway. So you have to fix your pronunciation. For example, the first way would be alphabets. Then you must be learning les accents, these accents in French, and then come to the phonics. Phonics are important because phonics is something that will tell you if the word is written like this, then how is it sound? How does it sound? For example, if the word is written like this, and in French, there is no accent aigu. For the ones who have already learned French little bit, there is no accent aigu at the end, then E is not pronounced. Like for example, we call this as je parle, and not je parle. We do not pronounce this as je parle, because if you pronounce this as je parle, unfortunately, you end up changing the tense. And we do not want to mess it up. The next important step would be, after working on your pronunciation, is to set up the solid grammar base. You need grammar, guys, because if you do not speak well and do not use the right foundational grammar, which is important, then examiner is helpless, right? Because you are not giving the right tenses, right sentence, or nice grammatical range. So I will put a list here below that what all sort of grammar that you must know. Grammar is, I would say, is easy to learn and understand, because then as added, we do have a capability to grasp that very quickly. What is it next thing, the third step that you would be doing, or rather parallelly, because you would not spend a lot of time in doing grammar, honestly, but you will have to do. You have to start working on the listening skills. So now for the beginner level audios, definitely you can use the Delph audios, or maybe Prep My Future. You can also use the other platforms, which I will link here below. So start listening and you will not understand a word. Let me tell you, guys, you will feel, oh my God, this is like they're speaking so fast and I don't get a word. Look at the transcript, replay the audio, again look at the transcript, and then try and understand which words you did not understand. So you will not understand the words because you have not yet developed a solid base of vocabulary. So that brings me to the step number 4, that you should or you must try and learn at least 20 new verbs or the words which are nouns daily. Now, 20 doesn't mean that you have to do this daily, like all for all 7 days a week. No, that won't work, guys. You should just take a target of 20 on Monday, 15 on Tuesday, 10 on Wednesday, and by the time you reach Thursday, just read 5. So if you've accumulated this, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, do not learn any new verbs or words. Just revise. Just keep revising. Just revise, because revision has a lot of power of retention, and you need to retain them. You just need to need not to just keep learning, keep learning. You need to process it, digest it. So hear me out, guys. 4 things to be gone parallelly. The first is the grammar. The second is the pronunciation or speaking, because pronunciation is forming the base of the speaking anyway. The third is the listening, because you got to score the CLB5 in listening as well. So you need to train your ears. Last is vocabulary. And because if you will have the good vocabulary, speaking and listening will go hand in hand, and you would be able to, of course, nail it. Now, once you do this for about like 3 weeks, then that's the time, or maybe 4 weeks, then that's the time you would know a lot of grammar. I'm assuming that you're studying 5 to 6 days a week, and you're just keeping your 1 day yourself for not doing anything, maybe. If you're following this plan, by the 7th or the 8th week, you should start speaking simple sentences using different tenses, if you have covered little bit of tenses by this time. And now you should start doing the mock of TEF or TCF, whichever your target exam is, that if this question comes, then what will be my strategy, or how would I ask? And if you do not know what question comes and how to express in the exam, then you can watch my playlist that I have created recently with Julie, we have gone ahead and created the simulations, and you can also download the transcript, and you can go ahead and maybe copy the words and the notes and everything, so that you know what exactly you have to speak. This is about speaking. For the listening, I highly recommend doing Prep My Future. You must do Prep My Future well. And if you do that well, CLB5 for the listening is definitely possible. Last but not the least, guys, stay motivated. It is super important to have a lot of positive energy and have a faith in yourself, or have a faith in your tutor, whomsoever, wherever you're learning from. And in case you need our help, in case you need our personal strategy, personal attention, feel free to contact me. You can book my consultation call, and I'll be super happy to help you all. I hope the video was helpful. Please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me or motivates me a lot to know that this content is useful. And if you want me to make further more content, I'll be super happy. You can just put it in the comment, and I would do that for you. Je te laisse. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir.